Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We continue our conversations around celebrating women working in various sectors. Today, we zoom in on women in the wonderful world of architecture. Catharine Atkins, Director of Co-Arch International Architects, joins me now to tell us more about women's participation in the industry. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You crafted and oversaw the creation of a 55-story skyscraper. I mean, the highest in the world. That must have been really significant.
In the country, yes. No, it was absolutely significant. I mean, the opportunity in the South African industry is just amazing. You know, and as a female too, it too was just a blessing to be able to participate.
So in your participation, I just perhaps paint a picture of what it must look like at a construction site as a woman going in to fine-tune the finer details. What do you think were some of the perceptions that were perhaps created around women going out in a very male-dominated industry to do some significant work?
I think the perception is a problem because it's basically, in a nutshell, believe that women aren't good enough for this dusty, concrete-filled environment. And we're actually just as good as the men that are doing the work on site as the women are. So it's an amazing thing to get the opportunity to do it. And we can also put our site boots and our PPE and our helmets on, and we can do just as much as the men do.
Yeah. And what would you say are some of the highlights of the job? I mean, besides the end product, which everyone gets to see, you know, the build-up towards working towards that end goal?
I think the build-up is you tend to be so committed to the project, and you actually, at the end of the day, don't realize what you are doing because you're so focused. And all of a sudden, you get to see this building appear in the sky and get higher and higher, and then you think to yourself, wow, we did this. We were a 90% female-led team in the office, and we're extremely proud to have seen that building just come up and enjoy the air.
We spoke a little bit about the perceptions, the negative perceptions which may have been created around women coming out and doing this fantastic work. What would you say are some of the challenges that the industry is still facing, especially if you had to compare your male counterparts who do similar projects and how they're perceived and treated by those around them?
It is difficult. It really is difficult because, as you say, it's been around for many, many years in a male-driven environment. We have to really prove ourselves and push even harder than the men do, because we have the same amount of knowledge, the same feedback and input we can give. It is difficult, but the men need to realize that the diversity needs to come. We need to empower the young ladies in the industry, be it in architecture, through any of the engineering fields, consulting fields, any of them, even ladies within the supplier chains. You know, some engineers don't believe that these women should be there, but they know what they're doing. We all know what we're doing, so why can't we be there?
Absolutely. How would you sell this profession to perhaps a young woman or a girl who may be watching and thinking, hey, someday I'd like to be part of a team that, builds and creates these lovely buildings?
Yeah, I think if you are passionate and creative and want to do it and are driven, you need to just focus and you'll get there. Because every day, I always say to young students, you need to wake up generally every day and know you're going to love what you do. There's nothing worse than waking up and thinking, I don't really want to do my job.
Yeah.
But if you love it, you're passion-driven, you can do it. We're just as good as the men.
Yeah. In fact, you take me back to when I was in high school. Technical drawing was a subject, but it was mostly done by the boys in the school. And
yes.
not a lot of encouragement was made for girls to be part of it. And yet, the industry is so dynamic.
Yeah. I myself actually was in a technical high school, and I did technical drawing from grade 8 right through to matric, and then obviously through studies. And it was, again, one of my passions. And there were very few of us back in the days when I was at school. But it seems to be becoming a lot more diverse with young girls going into the EGD, as they call it these days. But it's just, I love what I do.
What are the highlights of the job? I mean, like, one would imagine that you constantly trying to look at angles and make sure that everything is precise. Like, what are the highlights?
As a female, we tend to look at detailing a lot differently to the men. You know, we're softer, more, shall I say, the words pass me, but we do have a different eye and a different angle of how we look at things. We pay more attention to detail, and you know, we get those sides of things done that the general man wouldn't do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. The perks of being a woman. Catharine Atkins, the Director of Co-Arch International Architects, speaking about the beauty of the industry and celebrating women in architecture.